Some stories stay with you not because of how they ended, but because they never quite did. This is one of them. It was the summer of 2015. I was practicing in Surat then. My husband and I had just moved after a 2-year stint in Pune. The city was warm, full of contrast and secrets. She walked in like many others do, quiet, polite, is slightly heavy. Let's call her Meher. Early 30s, worked in a private bank. A fair, curvy woman dressed in a faded blue salwar, skin glowing in that tired sort of way. The kind of woman who bore herself with dignity, even while something inside had flickered low. She smiled, but it didn't reach her ears. Meher came alone. Her intake form had no glaring concerns, mild anxiety, trouble sleeping, occasional mood dips. Classic signs of low-grade depression, but nothing alarming. She'd been married for 10 years. Arranged marriage. One school-going child. Her husband ran a modestly successful sweet export business. Nuclear family. Upper middle-class values in a middle-income neighborhood. Everything on paper was normal. That word we tell ourselves when we don't want to look deeper. But Meher's story was anything but. She didn't open up immediately. It took 3 sessions for her to even hint at what brought her in. One evening she said, "Can a marriage be faithful even if it doesn't feel respectful?" I waited. And she began to speak. A few months ago, her husband had brought home a young man around 20s, dressed sharp, well-spoken, flirty. In her husband's presence, the boy touched her hand casually, commented on her looks, teased her gently. Meher thought it was a prank. But her husband laughed it off and later asked her what she thought of the boy. Whether she could be more open-minded. More modern. It wasn't a joke. One night, they all drank. She wasn't comfortable, but things happened. She said she was frozen, overwhelmed, and confused. But eventually she gave in. After that, he brought Bomore. On different days. Business friends, he said. From the city's commerce chamber. Charming, confident, young men. What struck me wasn't just the events. It was how calmly she narrated them, like she had detached from her own skin. She never wanted it, but she never screamed either. Then things changed. One night, her husband began yelling at her. Out of nowhere. Called her names I won't repeat here. Accused her of being unfaithful. Dirty. When she reminded him he had brought those men, he turned silent. Then angry again. As if he'd forgotten his own role. Then, within a week, he brought another man. A YouTube traveler from South India, he claimed. Said they should try again. She agreed. But days later, the abuse returned. No trigger. Just venom. That's when she came to me. Her words were broken, whispered like secrets she wasn't allowed to say aloud. I referred her to a psychiatrist at our hospital. Mild antidepressants. Sleep stabilizers. Gentle therapy. To my surprise, she later convinced her husband to see me. He came in a week later. A large man, round face, neat mustache, emotionless ears. He spoke clearly, confidently. Said he was in heavy debt. That the entire ordeal was a performance, a desperate scheme to raise money. I asked how. He opened his phone. Showed me a message he claimed to share on messaging groups, offering couple experiences for a fee. Rs 5,000. There was even a QR code attached. The idea was disturbing. Almost ridiculous. But Meher just sat beside him, staring into his lap. We talked for hours. He cried. She cried. I warned them of the legal consequences of such acts: coercion, abuse, digital solicitation. They nodded, they thanked me. They left, looking lighter. For a moment, I believed things would change. Until, a month later, I received a message. Meher again. Short. Almost fearful. He's asking again. Someone new. But I can't come. Don't want to get him into trouble. Don't want our names out. Head profile photo was gone. The double ticks were blue. But she never replied again. That night, I thought of the code he had shown me. I still had a photo. Out of curiosity, and concern, I scanned it. The name was Ajnaf Sheikh. An entirely different person. Narta, her husband. Worse, when I tried transferring even a rupee, it failed. The account had been closed 5 years ago. What debt? What story? Why such a poor lie, wrapped in just enough truth? My instincts told me this wasn't about money. What desperation! It was about control. What worse, performance. For whom, I still don't know. With my husband's help, he has contacts in banking. I traced what I could. The account had no transaction history. No links to her husband. No transfers. No chats from any group. Nothing. A ghost of a story. I tried messaging her again. Her number was switched off the next week. It rang once. Then never again. Maybe she blocked me. Maybe she was made to. I never saw Meher after that. No forwarding address. No closure. Only silence. In our work, we see the most tender and twisted parts of people. Some wounds can be stitched. Others fester in silence. This was one of those stories. One I'll never forget. And one I'll never fully understand. This was Meher's story. At least what she was allowed to tell. Until next time, stay curious. Stay cautious. Because not every truth waits to be found.